Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, welcome and thank you for finding us. I hope this video finds you well. If you like Blu-rays, if you like Hong Kong cinema, if you like boutique labels, if you like Asian cinema, movie reviews, action movies, heroic bloodshed, martial arts, dramas, we are also going to be talking about a silent German film. No, it's not silent. Is it silent? I don't think it's silent. We're going to be talking about a German film. There's all kinds of shit going on in this video. If you feel like subscribing, it will be hugely appreciated. We are so close to 8,000 subs. That genuinely blows my freaking mind. So a huge thanks to anyone. This has been such a huge year in this channel. We have grown so much, and we've been able to do so much more with our content. We started a podcast. We did all kinds of stuff. So genuinely huge thanks and appreciation, not just for me, but for Mike, who edits all these videos and does the thumbnails for YouTube and does all the audio correction and does the podcast with me. And, all kinds of other, this channel would not exist without Mike 110%. This is like a true partnership. So from both of us, thank you so much for everything that everyone has done for this channel this year, sharing videos, commenting videos. The commenting is my favorite thing in the world is to go into the comments and talk to people and meet new people and talk about movies. And I started Twitter this year. I think I started on Twitter this year, right? Yeah, earlier this year. And I've met people on Twitter who comment on our videos and have furthered my relationship with them, talking about movies and all kinds of stuff. And it's been really, truly an amazing year. So, and a huge shout out to our patrons, because this is a Blu-ray pickups, whatever, roundup, everything that we've gotten collected for the channel over the past month or two. There's I think 16 releases and 18 movies or something like that. There's a lot to talk about here. And so a lot of this stuff was purchased with Patreon money, and I will tell you which ones as we go through the list. But this is everything we will be talking about. Let's do should we do the shot for the thumbnail? Look at all these movies. Knowing Mike, he's going to use the one where my tongue is sticking out because he likes to make me look like Jabba the Hutt. All right. Jet Li, Heroes and Villains, Eureka Entertainment. I just recorded my review of My Father's a Hero. It was so much fun to revisit that film. It's called The Enforcer on the set, because I think that's probably the more commonly known title. But I first saw that movie as My Father's a Hero, so that's always what I'll think of it as. And then Dr. Y in The Scriptures with No Words and Hitman are both in this set as well. I really like this set. As I said in my review of My Father's a Hero, I have nostalgia for the days of those 3-pack DVD releases. And this really reminds me of one of those, and getting a group of films and just plowing through them and marathoning there were Jackie Chan ones. I have a Jet Li one that My Father's a Hero is in, right? So it brings back those days. But My Father's a Hero looks fantastic on here. It sounds fantastic on here. It is the uncut full Hong Kong version of the film, and I think it's got the original audio plus the dub, and there's bonus features and everything, and essays in here, and the Eureka pulls out, it's the classic, Eureka treatment with the amazing release, but it's a 3-pack, and so I'm very happy with it. I loved revisiting that film. More Eureka. Beach of the War Gods. I already reviewed this. Maybe you saw this already on the channel, but this movie's fucking awesome. And I had to show it off again. Jimmy Wang Yu. It's just amazing. This movie is just bananas. It's kind of a riff on Seven Samurai. I a little bit disagree with just there have been some people who just say this movie is a riff on Seven Samurai and that's it. That's all it has to offer. Obviously there is a huge Seven Samurai influence on this film, but I see a lot of Yojimbo in this movie as well, and I think just kind of Japanese, epic Japanese Jidageki filmmaking in general on Jimmy Wang Yu, and there is obviously a huge Seven Samurai influence on this film. I'm not going to say that's not true, but again, like I said, I do see a lot of Yojimbo influence and influence from other Japanese films as well. But this movie is just awesome, and if you haven't seen this movie, it's from 1973. It's 101 minutes long. I think this is Tarantino's favorite Jimmy Wang Yu movie. He's talked about this on a podcast or something like that, so it gained some fame in the Tarantino fanboy community for that. But yeah, it's just awesome, and go and see it. And then we have Stephen Chow. Hell yes, this is the Eureka Royal Tramp collection. There's 2 films in here, Royal Tramp and Royal Tramp 2. They are both directed and written by Wong Jing. I think they were filmed at the same time, so it's kind of just one massive, almost 4-hour long epic. And I watched the first film. I reviewed the first film. should be up on the channel by the time this comes out, or maybe it'll be up the same week. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I really enjoyed the first movie. I thought it was hysterical, but it's also just like really good, epic filmmaking. Like the movie, this is going to sound weird. The movie that it reminded me the most of, not in terms of like it's a similar film in terms of plot, character, or anything like that. It reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean. And the reason I say that is that Pirates of the Caribbean is a really well made, really tremendous, like mainstream PG-13, like four quadrant summer blockbuster style movie that's also really, really funny and kind of undermines a lot of the conventions of those films and is kind of making fun of itself while also being really good as an adventure film. This is a movie that's really funny and does make fun of itself, but is also a very good, like, period piece movie about like court intrigue and betrayal and backstabbings and like people with all these secrets and violence, and like it manages to be both of those things at once, and it does a really, really good job of it. And so I'm very excited to watch the second film in the set. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but these both came out in 1992, so classic 90s Stephen Chow and Wong Jing. And speaking of classic 90s Stephen Chow, from Beijing with Love, my review for this one's been up on the channel for a while. This movie freaking cracked me up. I thought this movie was hysterical. Kind of reminded me of like Leslie Nielsen style humor in a way, like Naked Gun and or like Hot Shots, like those types of movies, because the Stephen Chow character is like dead. He plays it so deadpan. He's dead serious, and everyone around him is like, is he aware of like what's going on? Like how ridiculous! Like the world around him is funny, and he is totally deadpan. It's kind of like the opposite of the Royal Tramp movies, where he's the ridiculous comedic one, and the world around him is serious. It also kind of reminded me a little bit of the Peter Sellers Pink Panther movies, in the way that Peter Sellers is like this totally over the top, like Inspector Clouseau is like this totally ridiculous character, and everyone around him is kind of like, what is going on right now? It had that element to it, which is, those are like the first like 3 or 4 Pink Panther films are, you know, like Pink Panther, Shot in the Dark, and then what is it, Revenge or Return of the Pink, like those 4, they're like some of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my freaking life. I love those movies. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this film, and Stephen Chow is a huge blind spot for me in Hong Kong cinema. I think I'd only seen 2 or 3 of his films before this year, so it's really exciting for me to get to check these movies out. Moving on a little bit to 88 films. The Long Arm of the Law set. So, you know, I mean, Long Arm of the Law is like legit one of my favorite movies ever. It's one of my favorite crime movies, one of my favorite kind of thrillers, crime dramas. It's just such a freaking brilliant movie. I recorded a review of it. It's almost like 30 minutes long. It'll be up on the channel soon if it's not up on there already. And this is an incredible release. There's like archival bonus material and new stuff. They went out and got new interviews, and you know, like Philip Chan and Michael Mock. Michael Mock is the brother of Johnny Mock. Johnny Mock directed the first one. Michael Mock directed the second one, which is also in this set. So this is Long Arm of the Law 1 and 2. And I mean, this is just like a transcendently good film, and this is a fantastic release, and it was such a joy. This was like a holy grail release for me to get to have just the first one. I have the second one on the Hong Kong Blu-ray, but I mean, this is, you know, this has better subtitles and better presentation and all that stuff than the Hong Kong Blu-ray. But for me, just to have the first movie on Blu-ray was like a holy grail release for me. But then to get this amazing like hard case deluxe box set, this is part 2. And it comes with the posters, which I showed off on my review. But there's a poster here, and then like a substantial booklet in here too. It's got multiple essays in it, and this is the first film here. This is just like a dream come true. Honestly, I mean, like 2 genuine dream come true, like holy grail all-time GOAT releases came out for me this year. Maybe even 3 or 4, but the 2 that I think of off the top of my head are this and the election films from Chameleon. With that, I mean, I just love those movies so much. It's been such an amazing year for Hong Kong films. But I mean, there was the Twin Dragons, like awesome release from 88, and Eureka put out, you know, so much incredible stuff this year. I mean, like the stuff I just showed off to you, Beach of the War Gods. I'm just looking at my pile of movies over there, being like, just so much amazing stuff came out this year. It's like hard to even keep up with all the amazing releases that have come out. But I mean, that release is just freaking mind-blowing. Another release that's really, really, really damn good, really exceeded my expectations, and a film that I freaking love that I had never seen before, Magic Crystal. This is the Vinegar Syndrome release with the, I think the slipcases are numbered. I got 879. Is that what that says there? And this is one of like the slipcases where it's like three sides and then the movie pulls out the bottom. But I mean, like obviously amazing slipcase artwork here, and then you get the same on the inside there. But I mean, this movie genuinely is like one of probably my three of five, probably top three favorite first watches for this year for Hong Kong cinema. I mean, I just loved the absolute shit out of this movie, and I really liked this release too. The bonus material and everything that's on here, and essays, and this is such a funny moment from this movie. I'm sorry, this thing here, and then there's a poster in here too, which is actually pretty big. There we go. There's that one side, which is the front cover of the slipcase, and then the other side is the back cover of the slipcase. But this is another one I already reviewed, but I just thought I've gotten so many Blu-rays recently, and like I know that not everyone has time to watch every review, and I know my reviews are usually pretty long and I ramble on a lot, so I thought let's just like put all the Blu-rays in one spot so people can check it out in the off chance that all they want to see is the Blu-rays and they're like physical media junkies like I am, because why else would I have this channel? But Magic Crystal, I loved that movie. That is a really great release. So here's some stuff I honestly have not even opened yet. So let me pop this open. This is Visible Secrets from Radiance Films. This is an Anne Hui film. I am really, really excited to watch this film. I've been so damn busy recently. I started a new job, which I know I've talked about on the channel before, and I've been really busy with the new job and just personal stuff. And I'm working on like if you watch the channel, then you'll know. If you're new to the channel, you might not know. I'm in the editorial process on a novel. And so I am working on the novel while I've got 2 kids and I have a full-time job and I do the channel. So I just been like, the fall has been really, really busy and like more so than I expected it to be. And so I've kind of fallen behind watching a lot of Hong Kong stuff. And I feel bad for that because I love doing the reviews and I love talking about these movies. And I know it's much better to do it when it's timely. But so this is the Radiance release of, but then this is one that was purchased with Patreon money. And actually, this one was as well. This was a Patreon purchase. And I'm just looking at this pile to see if anything else. I don't think any of those were, but we have more Patreon stuff over there. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this movie. I've only seen 2 or 3 Anne Hui movies. I saw Boat People, A Story of Wu Viet. I think I saw one other one, but I can't remember. I loved those. I loved those movies. And I've heard really great things about this film. And this was I cannot emphasize enough that you should go and buy this because this is a limited to 2,000 copies, period, will never be repressed release. And so, and it's got, I really like the way they do the booklets with, and I've heard this film is like very, very unique and bizarre and kind of like hard to describe and kind of a horror movie, kind of a comedy, kind of like an existential rumination on like the takeover and like China versus Hong Kong and like that kind of stuff. And so I'm really excited to check this film out. And I just haven't had a chance yet, but it's got, I mean, I can tell you what the bonus material is on here. A new conversation between Anne Hui and critic Ken Smith, who was also on the set of the original shoot. There's a new visual essay by critic and programmer Alexandra Heller-Nichols, an archival making of documentary featuring interviews with the cast and the crew, new and improved English subtitles by Dylan Chung, who I follow on Twitter. I mentioned Twitter. I think I follow Alexandra Heller-Nichols on Twitter as well. If she's on Twitter, I think I do. And then the booklet. Yeah. Go get this release if you're interested in it because they made 2,000 and they're not making more. And hopefully I will review that soon. And, oh, yep. Okay, so this is a movie that I randomly got an extra copy of that I'm really excited about. And again, this is another one that I have not reviewed yet. And this is slightly different from the last version of this movie. I did do this movie in an other Blu-ray roundup earlier this year that I think I did over the summer, maybe. That was a version with like slipcase, booklet, everything like that. I think this is the standard edition of this film. But I am excited to show it off to you so that you can see it. It's Kill Butterfly Kill. This is so the story behind this is it was a Taiwanese film, but then it became, I think, an IDF film, like a Godfrey Ho movie. And so it has the original version of the film on here, which is called Kill Butterfly Kill. And then it also has a version of it called American Commando 6 Kill Butterfly Kill. So it's the IDF version, and then there's like an alternate cut of it. One is from 1983, one is from 1987, and one is 87 minutes, one is 90 minutes long. And so that's what this is here. The trailer is bananas. You should go watch it online. So there you have it. Here's another movie that actually someone sent to me that I am unfamiliar with, that I thought I would show it off to you all here. It is a Korean film. We have a Jackie Chan movie in the pile, by the way. If you're watching this and you're like, what are we getting into now? I just want to see the Hong Kong stuff. Jackie Chan is coming very soon. So this is called The Hand. A man and his wife encounter a grotesque-looking hand sticking out from the toilet in their bathroom. The protruding hand is very still, like a severed limb hanging low. Although they call security and soon the cops, no one can identify, let alone predict where or what this thing is. That sounds really freaking interesting. I'd never heard of this movie. I wonder, wasn't there an American movie that came out this year about a weird hand? Are these movies somehow... Is this a subgenre with The Beast with 5 fingers? Go look that movie up. That movie's batshit insane. Or is it just something else? That sounds kind of nuts. It's not super long. It's 62 minutes. So maybe I'll have to watch this and let you know what I think about it. It sounds kind of fun. Okay. I told you there was Jackie Chan lurking in my pile. I already did a big review of this, so you may have already seen it. This is the Battle Creek Brawl deluxe release from 88 Films. Hell yeah, I like this movie. I know some people don't. I really enjoyed it. I think it's an underrated film. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's very charming. It's very goofy. It's very fun. All of which are things I really love about Jackie Chan. So there's like replication lobby cards here, and there you have that, and then you can see the alternate artwork there. Yeah, I mean, this is a great release. I really enjoyed it, and it's, again, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but look at this. This book is like massive. I mean, it's not massive compared to War and Peace, but it's 80 pages, so it's about 1/10 the length of Anna Karenina. An 11th. How long is Anna Karenina? Like 850 pages ish. This is probably more entertaining than Anna Karenina, although I found Anna Karenina to be emotionally more fulfilling than reading this booklet. No offense to the people who wrote this booklet, but that is a freaking great book. There you go. We've gotten to the point in the video where I'm comparing the booklets and Jackie Chan Blu-ray releases to Tolstoy. What is happening? It's the laundry room. As I always say in the laundry room videos, if you're watching a laundry room video, it's late at night, because this is where I record when everyone's in bed and blah, 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 blah. And the next movie, I've been told, has a lot of naked fight scenes. So we went from Tolstoy to naked fight scenes. Oh, shit. Someone should make a Tolstoy adaptation with naked fight scenes. Hell yeah. Warren Skeet. That was uncalled for. That was very much uncalled for. Sorry. I'm sorry. Anna Karenina, with the infidelity and stuff, you might lend itself more to naked fight scenes. But there is something very appealing about the idea of calling something Warren Skeet. Warren Skeet. Which one do you think would make a better naked fight scene movie adaptation? Let me know in the comments, because I'm just thinking about like that massive battle scene in War and Peace where they're fighting, the French, right? Napoleon. Is it Napoleon's army? Is it Napoleon or Napoleon II? This is Napoleonic Wars, right? When they burned Moscow. I'm just thinking that battle, which is like one of the most amazing freaking scenes ever written in the history of literature. That battle, like when they're retreating from the French across that bridge, and then they set up, and there's that huge battle scene, and it's tracking so many characters across this battle, and it's incredible. turn that into a naked fight scene. Can you imagine Tolstoy rolling in his grave? Who is this fat loser talking on YouTube about naked fight scenes in my masterpiece? Okay, so we're talking about Lion Girl to get back on track. This is a Japanese film that, again, like I said, I've been told has amazing naked fight scenes in it. And I really don't know. This is another movie that someone sent me, and I really don't know that much about it. I often get told by people that I need to. This looks like kind of like one of those monster movies that, like, the subgenre of Japanese films that I honestly, is it tokusatsu? I can't even remember the name of off the top of my head, because I love what I consider to be the golden age of Japanese cinema, which I know is not what everyone considers to be the golden age of Japanese cinema, because people writing in the 60s or whatever called the 20s and 30s the golden age of Japan, whatever. But like the kind of like post-war, like whatever, 40, well, yeah, kind of like 45-ish to, I don't know, like late 60s is to me like the golden era of Japanese cinema. And I've seen a lot of those films and I love those movies. But outside of that, a lot of what I've seen is either anime or just like individual films here and there. Like I've seen some fair number of Takashi Miike films, not Miike, Beat Takeshi Kitano. I have seen whatever, maybe 4 or 5 Miike films, but like I have huge blind spots all over Japanese cinema. And so this subgenre is not one that I've seen a lot of films in, but a lot of people tell me I would really like it and I should go check stuff out. And so when I got this movie in the mail and then I was told that there were naked fight scenes in it, I was like, I should probably watch that movie. In the year 20XX, mysterious meteors bombard the Earth and usher in an age of horrific beasts known as Anorok. That to me sounds like Power Rangers. My kids got into Power Rangers recently. I never watched it when it was originally on. I think I was a little bit too old for it. But my kids got into it recently, and that kind of sounds like a Power Rangers setup. Killing humans for their life force, the Earth has one last defender against them. Her name is Lion Girl. I don't know. It sounds fun. Naked fight scenes. And then one last thing from Eureka. A lot of Eureka in this video. Eureka's been killing it this year. Pandora's Box, which is a Pabst film from the 20s, Weimar German film. And this is the limited edition box set release of it. And I know this is not a Hong Kong film or an action film or an Asian film or anything like that, but Weimar cinema is very special to me because the first film studies class I ever took when I went to college was a Weimar cinema class. And then I took another class about the history of Weimar Germany after I took the cinema class because I was so interested in it after we watched like Nosferatu and Metropolis. And I think we watched Sunshine. Is that a Pabst movie? Is that a Murnau movie? We watched one Pabst movie in that class, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was called. So I haven't seen that many Pabst films, but that was a really incredible class. And so I always think fondly upon my, undergrad and, being 18, 19 years old and like, having wanted to study films. And then finally I'm like at university and I'm studying like these German films from like the 20s. And I'm like, yeah, it brings back a lot of great memories and great nostalgia. And I loved those professors who I had. They were so great. And so I'm really excited. I haven't had a chance to watch this yet, but this is like a really lavish box set release with this incredible booklet. And sounds like an amazing film. Again, like I said, I haven't seen it. But I think it was this film that was very shocking at the time that it came out with a very frank depiction of like female sexuality. And just a really, is it a silent film? I think it is a silent film, right? Most Weimar films were silent films, right? Because sound was in 27. Oh, my film history is rusty. Was The Jazz Singer 1927? So obviously Nosferatu is a silent film. Caligari is a silent film. Metropolis is a silent film. So this probably is a silent film. What year is this from? Oh, 1929. Well, let's see. It should say right here. So it's adapted from a pair of plays, Pandora's Box, and again, we're not going to get into the puns of the box, and she's a sex worker. What happens when we open the box? What's in the box? Which makes me think of the Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle. Okay, what is going on in this video? We've talked about Warren Skate, Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candles, a potential subgenre of films about mysterious disembodied hands. Whoa, this is what you get with Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. You never know how delirious I'm going to be and how insane it is going to be. But anyway, it's Pandora's Box, and it's this amazing. I mean, yeah, I know that Eureka was known for many years for just releasing like really great classic silent films and more obscure stuff and black and white movies and stuff like that. And then they've been doing a lot of the martial arts in Hong Kong and Asian cinema recently, which obviously I'm really excited about. They've been doing Japanese movies recently. That's super awesome for me, for this channel, for the fans of the films. But I mean, they're doing Pass of Glory on 4K, the Kubrick film, which I've actually never seen. That's one of the few Kubrick films I've never seen before. I'm really interested in checking it out, so I'm excited they're putting that out. And they did the Zulawski. I know that's not how you pronounce his name, the Polish filmmaker. I actually got that set too. I had like the hard case set with the 3 films in it. I watched the first one, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but it was really, really good and really bizarre and original and extremely unique. And I'm actually thinking of doing a video about that film for my other channel. So anyway, that's the recent pickups. My name is Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Let me know in the comments what you've picked up recently, what you think about these movies, and all that other fun stuff. And we'll see you next time.